But everybody knows you're a great player. You see that? Google me. Everybody knows you're a great player. You don't know what you're talking about when it comes to me. He ain't got a repair knife. He got to step up and play me. We all didn't have other players carry us up and down the court. You can yell as much as you want to. I got 3 finals MVPs. How many you got? And you are a great player. Thank you. Well, me and Chuck, we go through this a lot. A lot of time when we critique these guys, these youngsters and these females, they don't understand that all the stuff that they're getting ready to go through, we are the masters of that. Angel Reese just got brutally rejected by Shaq, and let me tell you, it was horrific. Because we're not used to seeing Shaq go off like that. He's usually the laid-back guy, cracking jokes and having a good time. But when Angel started throwing shade at Caitlin Clark, that was the breaking point. Shaq lost it, and it hit so hard that Angel ended up in tears right in front of the media. I don't really get to speak out on things just because I just try to ignore, and I just try to stand strong. I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I mean, come on, Shaq is a basketball legend, and one thing he won't stand for is someone trashing another legend. And here's the best part. While Shaq was serving Angel a dose of cold, hard truth, Caitlin was out there doing what she does best, breaking yet another record. And oh boy, Angel Reese is really feeling it now. The same girl who's been riding the wave of thinking that the more people hate her, the more famous she gets. I mean, that's what her actions scream, right? But here she is, crying to the media, acting all shocked that experts are criticizing her. All year, I was critiqued about who I was. Nobody I don't. The narrative. I don't fit the narrative. I don't fit in the box that y'all want me to be in. I'm too hood. I'm too ghetto. Y'all told me that all year. Apparently, she's done nothing. Yeah, nothing except stirring up drama. And while she's out here shedding tears, Shaquille O'Neal, or just Shaq, because who needs the full name when you're a giant icon, has decided to step in and drop some truth bombs. Shaq, man, he's way more than just that retired NBA dude we all know for his monster dunks and hilarious insurance commercials. This guy's a whole personality, a force of nature off the court. And recently, he's been shaking things up in the WNBA too. When Shaq talks, people don't just listen, they stop dead in their tracks. He's been pushing hard for WNBA players to finally get the recognition and paychecks they deserve. But one should know Shaq's not just shouting for better pay, like some random celebrity hopping on a bandwagon. Nah, he's out here shining a spotlight on the actual talent in the WNBA. He's been a super fan of some of the league's top players, especially Caitlin Clark and, yeah, Angel Reese to some extent. When someone like Shaq, a living basketball legend, starts hyping players up, people are paying attention. One player gets the praise, and the other, well, they get the criticism. Clearly, Caitlin's been tearing it up on the court. While Angel, she used to be the golden girl everyone talked about. Used to be. Things change fast in sports. And here's the thing about Shaq. This man is at the games front and center, like a dad who's more into the school recital than the kids performing. Serena, what does it mean to witness up close the recent explosion of women's basketball? Well, I love it, especially for women. Listen, they've always played great. They've always played hard. I'm glad they're getting the exposure. He's not just there for the cameras either. He's giving his opinions raw, unfiltered, and honest. Whether it's about the game strategies or what the WNBA needs to hit the big leagues, Shaq's got a take. And trust me, when Shaq talks, people listen. He's got that kind of weight behind his words, Now here's where things start to get really interesting. Shaq's been keeping a close eye on the WNBA, and let's just say he's been all about Caitlin Clark lately. The way Shaq talks about her, it's like she's some kind of basketball prodigy. He's out here calling her the face of the WNBA. That title, by the way, used to be something Angel Reese could have claimed if things had gone a little differently. But hey, times change, and Shaq isn't afraid to call it like he sees it. For him, it's about who's bringing in the fans, who's making the league grow, and right now, Caitlin's that person. Other experts are also supporting Shaq in his point of view. That should be celebrated, and it's because of Caitlin Clark. Don't get it twisted. Don't get it fucked up. Caitlin Clark is the reason why a lot of great things is going to happen for the WNBA. And Shaq's not just out here throwing compliments around for fun. Nah, when he starts praising someone, especially a player like Caitlyn, you know something's shifting. And the minute Shaq called Caitlyn the face of the WNBA, it sent a clear message. Things are changing. And honestly, I don't refuse this fact that Angel Reese wasn't just another player in the WNBA, but for a while, she was the player. She was dominating the court like it was her personal playground, and people couldn't stop raving about her. Her rookie season was straight fire, and she made sure everyone knew it. I mean, this girl was out there breaking records for the most games with 10+ assists like it was no big deal. That achievement didn't just get her a pat on the back, it cemented her as a force to be reckoned with. The media? Obsessed? Fans? Couldn't get enough? And Angel? Well, she was soaking up all that glory like the superstar she was becoming. But oh, Angel had this extra flair about her. Let's just say, confidence wasn't in short supply. Some might even call it arrogance. She strutted around like she was the main attraction of the WNBA, and honestly, she believed it. If you were there for the game, you were there for her. At least that's how she saw it. And don't even get started on her media appearances. She wasn't exactly shy about downplaying her teammates or anyone else in the league for that matter. It was Angel's world, and the rest of the WNBA was just living in it, or so it seemed. But here's the thing about being at the top. It's not exactly a permanent position. There's always someone gunning for your spot. Enter Caitlyn Clark, who came onto the scene like a bolt of lightning. Fast, bright, and impossible to ignore. And for everybody who talked about, oh, she's just a shooter, she's already set the all-time rookie assist record. Suddenly, Angel's throne wasn't as secure as she thought. Caitlyn was out here making serious noise, quickly becoming a household name. And let's be honest, her talent was undeniable. But Angel is out there collecting sympathies. I've been through so much. I've seen so much. I've been attacked so many times, death threats. I've been sexualized. I've been threatened. I've been so many things, and I've stood strong. It wasn't long before Caitlyn did the unthinkable. She broke Angel's record for the most games with 10+ assists by a rookie. As if that record was never meant for anyone but her. It wasn't just a personal win for Caitlyn, it sent shockwaves through the entire league. Every pass, every assist felt like it was straight out of a highlight reel. By the time she demolished Angel's record, Caitlyn wasn't just a rising star, she was the star. And with every game, the crowds grew bigger, the media got louder, and the Caitlyn Clark show was officially on. Analysts who used to sing Angel's praises were now fully invested in the Caitlyn hype. The shift started slowly, but soon it was impossible to ignore. Caitlyn was now the name everyone couldn't stop talking about. The Rookie of the Year contest in my mind, it's Caitlyn Clark. And for Angel, this was a nightmare playing out in real time. One minute she's the darling of the WNBA, the next, she's watching the spotlight drift away from her like a bad dream. Caitlyn didn't just break her record, that was painful enough, but what really stung was how quickly the world seemed to forget about Angel. The cheers, the attention, the media buzz. It all seemed to vanish overnight, replaced by Caitlyn mania. Well, it was definitely what happened last year between Caitlyn Clark and Angel Reese. It was talked about and would have liked to have seen that rematch in the final. But Caitlyn Clark is a special player. Angel Reese's meltdown after Caitlyn Clark shattered her rookie assist record wasn't just some silent frustration behind closed doors. No, Reese put her emotions out there for the world to see. I mean, here's someone who was always the picture of calm and control, whether on the court or off it. But as soon as Caitlyn snatched that record out from under her, all bets were off. Reese had enjoyed being the center of attention for so long, and now she isn't the main character anymore, like Shaq said. Not only was she making a great shot, she was making great passes and, she took her loss with humility. A shout out to the Iowa program. Shout out to all the female programs. Juju Watkins is a great player. Publicly, Reese went full throttle with her frustration. It wasn't just a few words of disappointment. No, she lashed out. In an interview shortly after Caitlyn's record-breaking game, Reese was fuming, accusing the media of hyping Clark up while brushing her own achievements under the rug. She wasn't exactly delicate about it either. I mean, all my kids play ball. But I said at my Hall of Fame speech that if she keeps it up, she'll probably be the best one in the family.